Trust this robot here for October 5th through October 11th. So it looks like we have Waymo is starting to use their driverless ride-hailing service in Phoenix, Arizona. They've been in Phoenix, Arizona for a while now, but they've had safety drivers in the driver's seat, and they are now going to go without safety drivers. And it says on the site that you can bring along family and friends if you want. So they have about 300 to 400 of these driverless cars in Phoenix, and you have the chance of a lifetime to be a guinea pig and jump in a driverless car if you want, if you're in Phoenix, Arizona. So there has been kind of an insurgence of neural net artwork. A ton of artists, not a ton, but artists have been experimenting in working with neural nets and doing their artwork. The first one sold at Christie's for, I don't remember how much, it was like $1 million or $2 million, not too long ago. So Sophia Crespo has been doing wildlife neural net artwork, and Whippo has been doing a show that has been exploring who owns the artwork. We kind of talked about this in a previous video, and a UK high court in the UK determined recently that the artist owns it, the human artist, and not an AI. So I thought that was kind of interesting to see a little bit more of the artwork. I think it's fascinating. It's kind of a nice little twist. So we have IBM is splitting off into two different divisions. They're going to have their IT division, which is, let's see, 19 billion in revenue. And then they're going to have another division that's focusing on their cloud platform and AI company. Those of you that don't know, Microsoft and Amazon are currently the two biggest cloud companies. And IBM, I think, is separating off so they can focus more on this division and compete a little bit more in that area. So facial recognition software. This company, Brighter AI, works on blurring out your face, pixelizing your face, and altering it just enough to where it anonymizes your face from facial recognition software so that it can't determine that it's you. I'm gonna also put a link to Brighter AI below so you can check them out. It's interesting. I feel like there's gonna be a whole like edge, kind of like an edge group or whatever you want to call it of people that are going to be creating clothing that help block out facial recognition. There's going to be companies that do this, kind of like how there's VPN services for privacy. And so here's a company that's focusing on that. UC San Diego has created a robot squid that can swim around the ocean and gather data without damaging any of the coral reefs because it's a soft robot. It has cameras in the front area. It's kind of pretty. I thought it was kind of a cool one. So here's a robot fry chef that's currently going for $30,000, and they're aiming to get it down to $20,000. So looks like their goal is to get rid of the minimum wage workers and make it autonomous. So there we have it. If this is one of your jobs, say bye-bye. This show, I watched it, I think it was on Tuesday. I really liked it, and I wanted to show a clip because I thought it was a really good one. I'm just going to show a portion of the clip. If you don't have regular TV, which I don't, I watched it on Fox's website. You could stream it right on their website, but they also have it on Hulu as well.
If someone knew everything about you, all your secrets, and they could use them against you, would you let them into your life? Of course not. The problem is, you already have.
I'm your friend, right?
Right.
Who are you talking to in here?
Eliza, she's asking me stuff.
No, Eliza doesn't ask questions. She just answers them.
So that gives you an idea. It's one of those sci-fi, like, AI might destroy humanity kind of shows, but it's good. I think they did a good job. I feel like it's been a really long time since a network has put out something good. Pretty much all the good stuff is on streamers lately. So I thought that was a good one. So Tesla is talking about the driver-facing cameras that they have in their cars. They've had them in their cars for a while, but it notes in this article that they activated them in June. So if you have a Tesla, you have a driver-facing camera that is recording your and your passengers' every movement. The cameras, it tells in this article, which I'll put in the link below so you can read more about it. The cameras are in the rear view mirror. I did an article about a month ago talking about how I bought a Subaru Forester only to discover after I bought the car that there were all kinds of cameras in the car, facing outward, facing inward, all that stuff. So I learned that if you are in a garage or under a shaded tree, anywhere where it's kind of dark, you can take a flashlight, run that flashlight over the mirror, and you'll see where the camera is. And you can just slap some tape on it. My car also had some cameras, like little iPhone and iPad style cameras in the upper right hand corner of the stereo system. So that's another spot. Just take your flashlight, run it over the console in the middle and the mirror, and you'll see where they're at. Unless you don't mind being recorded and your data being sold, that's totally your choice. You can leave those cameras on without tape. So Musk's SpaceX wins the Pentagon Award for missile tracking satellites. We talked, I think it was last week, about how there were a few articles that were so surprised that the Army wanted to be able to access SpaceX's satellites. And we went over how SpaceX has been getting funding from the government in the billions of dollars for years now. So this doesn't surprise me at all. But it's now making headlines that, yes, SpaceX and the Pentagon are working together. And yes, I'm sure they would say that SpaceX is, making money from the Pentagon by building them satellites, but, they're getting billions of dollars in funding. So in my mind, they're one and the same. So I will have links to all these articles below so that you can read them in depth. And I will be back next week with more AI in the news. Have a great week.